Alistair Jones is Associate Professor of Politics at Montfort University. I asked him what the EU Parliament might look like after these elections.
This is the $64 million question in many respects, bearing in mind that what we've got is 27 separate elections going on in each individual country, and those individual results then get compiled. There's a whole lot that can go wrong in a prediction, but the forecasts are looking like the centre-left party, those that are social democratic, are going to do slightly less well. Maybe the centre-right party, the Christian Democrat groups, the European People's Party, they're going to do slightly less well, but those further to the right, so those that come under the conservative and reformist label or under the identity and democracy label, so more further right, maybe even the far right, they're going to do slightly better. As to who's going to control it overall, it's going to be too close to call. It could remain a centre-left, centre-right coalition, or it could be a wholly right-wing coalition for the first time. But it's exciting because it's just too close to call.
So let's talk about that forecast shift to the right then. Why are people thinking that might happen?
I think some of it in individual countries is about populism. So, for example, in Slovakia, with the attempted assassination of Robert Fico, the knock-on effect of that has been some increased support for his party. You've seen other countries, such as in Hungary, Viktor Orban's Fidesz party being more anti the position in Ukraine, arguing about the cost of it for the Hungarian people, and that garnering support as well. On top of that, throw in issues such as immigration and poverty, and how the centrist parties have basically failed to keep immigration under control, or the limitation of poverty, not being able to resolve things. And so people are looking for an alternative. And some of the populist leaders, so the likes of Marine Le Pen in France, for example, or Geert Wilders in the Netherlands, they have been able to strike a chord with their national populations. And we're going to see the potential of that impacting upon the results, and therefore a more right-wing parliament being elected as a result.
So 27 countries, as you say, voting here, clearly not a homogenous bloc. Each one has different concerns. But what do you think the overall themes will be of issues that voters are concerned about?
I think for some people it is the consequences of the war in Ukraine, the Russian invasion, and the cost of living on top of all of that. There's whole issues around just well-being, if you like. That poverty is on the increase, people's well-being is less well off. People can't afford the things they used to be able to afford even 5 years ago. So that general sort of heaviness on life is something there, and the knock-on effect of that is those populist parties are able to put forward an agenda that says, we understand you're hurting, we have some solutions. And it is that in sort of engagement to those types of issues that are going forward.
And what about Ursula von der Leyen's future? Do you think she's likely to win another term as European Commission President?
Well, this is where things are going to get rather messy, because she has made it clear that if there is a right-wing coalition in the European Parliament, so that the European People's Party sign up with the Identity and Democracy and European Conservatives and Reformists, that she would be happy to work with them. And that has upset those at the centre-left and further to the left. And it may be that if the right can't get that coalition, the social democratic groups and those further to left, the Greens and the European Free Alliance, are not going to support her. As to who they would support instead, goodness only knows. So Ursula von der Leyen is walking something of a tightrope here. She is not sure how much she can rely on the support from the far right, and she's alienated those to the centre left. So it's another watch this space, unfortunately.